Good evening. We just want to start now. Thank you. We want to start now. Thank you for coming. This is very important to me and to us, I believe. This particular meeting or webinar. I have with me on my right, Mr. Lucas. Mr. Lucas is very extremely keen founder of this movement. We believe so. And we have Alistair, lawyer by training. So he is also his father and himself, together with your cousin, right? Extremely interested in rural development and specific plants. And we have Alex Yong there. Alex Yong, yeah, Alex Yong is a graduate in commerce. And we have also Mr. Yong, the coffee proprietor there. Is 40 years of business in coffee. So so all are related to Knight's endeavor lah, huh? But we expecting a few more to come. So we just be punctual and do our thing. Yeah. Thank you again. It will be a 1 hour thing. It will be 1 hour thing. I will want to welcome you again to Sahati Research Institute. I'm Dr. Boon here. I'm in charge here. So tonight, if anything not well done, you can bribe me. My good research assistant is Nick. Nick is here helping me all the time. And this institute has been going on for many years, and some works has been done in research, although may not be so outstanding, but we are working hard on it. Yeah. So again, welcome all of you online, Mr. Gore and Mr. Philip, our banker there. And then we also can see here perhaps other people. We are expecting the Serumbu side to come in. I don't know their schedule. Pengulu and the Serumbu, Mr. Dylan and so on. But anyway, I will just go. I think we respect. I do two languages. I will do two languages. Okay. First, I talk in English very fast because then after that we'll go to Chinese. And then we can interact using Chinese and English. Alistair cannot understand uh, Mandarin, for example, but he is one of the key players. He is representing a association, a society, and the rest, I think Nick also, I don't know. So most of us can both languages. So let me quickly go through. I will just do it off the cuff, perhaps. Okay. Um, we want to come tonight here actually, to put our mind together and see how an agro-based community uh, can be conceptualized. Agro-based community can be conceptualized in Sarawak. And then because we have feel that the problem is still with the agriculture as a basic activity in Sarawak. Yeah. So if you follow something that I have written in a working paper, we discover that the community development is still a dominant issue. It's still dominant in the world. Today, they are still talking about community. A very big percentage is talking about community, although we have cities and so on. And then apart from this industrialization, that means kampong, the factories, the high-tech thing, there is one part which can never run away from our scrutiny, or rather our daily life. There's agro-based community development, agro-based business, agro-based activities. So in Sarawak itself is positioned in Borneo here, and also is you can say it because of the good weather, good climate, good soil, and it's so conducive to do some agricultural activities. And that's why we see that agro-based is the solution here. Agro-based community development is association. So the world, at large, the World Bank, also World Economic Forum, other United Nations agencies, they are all stressing on farms, small farms, and so the small farm within the community development. So with this, that's why we cannot run away from this. Sarawak is spot on. We need to have a community-based, community-led, agro-based community. Okay, so Malaysia now is in terms of food security index, it's ranked as number 39th out of more than 200 countries in the world, 39th. So we still okay, but then we are very much hope to be one of the food security country, food secure, So, but food in Sarawak, we identified recently, only last week or so, by our minister concerned that Sarawak will be the hope of ensuring food security. So again, Sarawak is highlighted here by our minister last week. And because of that, I think today is just timely for us to look into food security, agriculture community, right? So Sarawak itself, we all know Sarawak has a big piece of land, and since 1841, it was developed agriculturally as well, up till British colonial days, 1946 to 1963. Agriculture is also important. And then again, since 1963, agriculture almost every year, government allocated 2 billion into the agriculture sector out of the yearly budget. So we can see how important Sarawak is. Okay, if you can see the map of Sarawak, Sarawak has 4 parts, which I can easily identify, and most Sarawakians can understand and can appreciate that. One is the lowland. The lowland normally at the coastals, the plains, where you have cities, you have a lot of agriculture activities on. Then you have go to the suburban areas. So around the cities, the divisional cities, you have the suburban areas. Like for example, in Kuching, we have the suburban areas, like Bau, Sirian, Nako, Asajaya, Samarahan, all that. Immediately, likewise, we have other places around, so suburban area. Then we have the inland. Inland, we have plenty of inland, like Pit there, like Oya there, like somewhere in Limbang there. The land are not really high, but it's inland. So interior, call interior. Of course, the fourth one is the highland. Okay, we have highland, beautiful highland like Bario, Bakalalang also. So because of these 4 segments, I try to quickly find some examples for us to understand, Sarawak agricultural based society, or Sarawak as a agricultural state. How can we advance it? Number one is I put model one is the urban communities. Okay, if you have the paper, the urban community is very interesting. Urban community, we have cities quite by 2030 we consider ourselves developed. You see, we at least have a dream to have the cities well developed. So we can see many flowers, I suppose, many parks, many greeneries, okay, as well as plants like maybe some fruit trees, some I was giving this example, the vanilla. Yeah, there is one guy then the one association interested to develop a vanilla corner for right in the middle of Kuching city. So vanilla not only can be beautiful for the city, but also can generate some income for the city. For the this one in particular for the House of Joy and so on. So we look at it in terms of theoretically three aspects. Number one is the function. Function of the urban areas is different. We all know function of the urban area is more for housing, for administration, and so on. And then in terms of structure, we have minister, we have the mayors, we have the authority councils. We also have policemen, for example, all the civil services as a part of the structure of the urban urban areas. And then, of course, the last thing is the structure of urban areas. Okay, sorry, the target of the urban area. So who are they? They are a lot of them are migrants. Apart from the city dwellers, they've been there for centuries. But then with our migrants, workers from rural areas. That's why rural to urban migration is real. And then, of course, you have tourists. You have some people who are not from that city. So that target, we can see is important how to involve them together to build a structure that is workable so that the functions of the agriculture in agricultural activity in the urban center can be achieved. All right. So now we move to case model two, the suburban transformation. Suburban is very interesting here. I find that, for example, in Syrian there are many lands whereby you have rubber trees, for example. But the rubber trees were not tapped, you know. And alongside the rubber trees, we have the kelapa sawit, the oil palm. The oil palm is nearly 30 or over 30 years. I met one guy, he said that since he's a little boy, 30 or 40 years, 30 over years ago, he was already seen the trees there. So I know it's at least 30 years. But these are the trees, you see the firms there. So there are many of these parcels of land under, I think, Felcra and so on. They are not used properly and they are trying to renew their contract and so on. So this contract to whether to continue to be used by Felcra to grow oil palm or to return the land to the people concerned. You see, if you see from the picture, the background there, the rubber trees are untapped. You know? Ulu Raya, other areas even. So this is suburban areas plenty around Syrian Road, around Mount Road, those places where oil palm plantation started quite early. So you can see that in suburban area, the structure of the society, of the community can be a bit simple, right, as compared to city. And the target group, you can see the land, mostly the landowners. It can be the native Kashmiri land, or it can be other types of land. See? So the objective of community development for the 21st century really have to be distinguished between urban and suburban. There are vast difference between them. The distinction between urban and suburban is very sharp. So we need to continue to pay attention to this function, structure, and target uh, as a as a our theory behind it. All right. So model number three is on interior in transformation case. I showcase one case there with in Oya, uh, Ulu Oya. I think Alistair's land, cross there. So this river has no bridge. So the story goes the people there migrate to the more suburban area and leave their own interior farm, hundreds of acres, just like that. with the rubber tree there. Uh, with the rubber tree, with some coffee tree there also. Mr. Yong will be happy. When the uh, uh, coffee trees are there also a long, long time ago. But now abandoned. But these are really large tracts of land. So you can differentiate it from the suburban and interior. So there are plenty of land in Kapit and so on, where we can plant a lot of things and also to rejuvenate the community life there. Community life is important. As I said, the longhouse was abandoned. They moved more to suburban area. Now, without infrastructure like bricks and road, they abandoned it, and then there is not much development, and land are wasted there. So the interiors are structurally is different. They may have a kaum or the headman, and then they are whether they can do the good job there. We have to explore it. And then in terms of function, the land, large tract of land, uh, it could be used for plantation. In terms of target group, target we can look at landowners again. I think the landowners play a very, very important part of the whole endeavor. Because the landowners, these are mostly native customary rights land, NCR land. So again, Sarawak, we must differentiate it from native lands and rural, and also the slack land. Okay, plenty of slack land everywhere, but more so in rural areas. In rural areas like the interiors and suburban. Okay, so land utilization and land use is very important in Sarawak. You can see a picture of this land uh, owned by my friend, Mr. Philip. He has plenty of land there from his nenek moyang, from his grandfather, you know. And then he is thinking of how to utilize the land. It's hundreds of acres. Some with plant, some without plant. Some, because of different problems, uh, then they abandon it, they move, they change their plans. So we need a structure to help them. We need to redefine the functions of the people there, functions of the whole land use there. All right. So you can see also the last one. The last one is interesting for Sarawak here. Sarawak is the bordered from Indonesia by highlands. Okay, so the highlands there, many Kelingkang is from I think from Datok, Tanjung Datok to Bau there is the range there, and of course you have Barrio, that range Barrio Bakalang there. Temperature is very cold, so the function of that highland is totally different from the lowland, from the suburban land again. So plants like orchids, like flowers, like roses, maybe specific breed or specific yield or rice yield, different. Fruits different. Maybe you can grow strawberries, I was told, many other things. So the function is different again. So we need another different structure to carry out the functions well there, so that we can hit the targets, people as well as targets, physical targets, how much production, what sort of production. Because in terms of this function, because there is no road linking it to the suburban areas to the market, so cost and logistic is a big problem there. Okay, so I was trying to tell you the four distinction here. Okay, the lowland or the urban areas, suburban areas, which can also be in the lowland or highland. And the interior tract land, it could be slightly higher, but maybe mountainous. And then we go up to the highland, whereby you can see climate, in terms of climate, in terms of land use, you need really to think through and carefully research upon, in terms of this land use, land utilization. Okay, so I'd like to finish this part, my English part, by just zeroing on this community studies. Okay, now whatever we are doing here, we are talking about 21st century, how to develop agro-based, agricultural based activities in a community. So community study become very important because we need to see how the community are blessed. It's not so much only the investors or outsiders or researchers, but it's the community that can prosper, perpetuate their happiness, their well-being. I think that is it. That means we are looking at the social economic aspect as well. So, for example, in lowland, urban area, or highland, there are communities. The community must be able to work on the land in terms of food production, in terms of cultural activities, and so on. If the communities are strong and able to work together, and also in terms of inter-community, not just intra-community, but inter-community cooperation is seen and is structured well and so on, is understood and is carried out well, then the whole society over that side, maybe the whole region will be blessed, will be successful. Just give an example, the poor community will be helped by the rich community. The rich, successful people, or places with mineral resources, places with successful farms, they can always help the poor ones. Okay? And then in terms of community studies, I personally look at China. So you can see some of the pictures that I've shown you. The Chinese is a successful models right now, especially in Yunnan area where there are where there are a lot of minority people races there as well, and a large tract of land, much bigger than Sarawak, but they're able to be developed systematically and successfully, and also sustaining the community studies there. Of course, there are some fallback, but they are try to uh, try to come back again and make sure that the rich one, the successful one, will continue to be successful. So you look at the picture, for example, the housing, the land use, even along the mountainside, and sustainability in terms of green environment and clean water, clean air. All these are recognized by United Nations, and they've earned a lot of awards out of it. Yeah. So this is what we can do. Tonight, we are trying to see how we can learn from China. And Sati Institute and other institute that we thinking of collaborating with actually wants to be the intermediaries. We want to bring Sarawak communities, agro-based communities, to work with China, model communities. If these two are work together well, then our job is done. But we will still want to continue to do. But you may be asking me, well, what sort of collaboration? I can quickly tell you to finish off this part. Number one, well, we in terms of, for example, what sort of agriculture activity, livestock, what sort of livestock, trees, what sort of tree, flowers, what flowers. Okay, in terms of seeds, of the type of hybrids, and so on. In terms of pest control, diseases control, and then marketing, distribution, harvesting, all that. But also, we are talking about working how to collaborate to build a sustainable community, happy community farms, okay, to solve their economic problems, and also their social economic problems. Right? Money and dollar is important. Right? Once they have money or dollar, they can study well, they can eat well, they grow well, they will be happy, and that will be sustainable. Okay. So apart from other thing, we want to do something on visiting them, and bring them in here, bring them in here, so that they will meet the local communities, and then community may be able to meet them so that there will be a what they call cross cooperation, and there will be a transfer of technology, and then you know actually China can also learn something from us, and we can also learn from China in terms of culture agro-based community development. Okay, this is what I'm going to finish the first part. Maybe we just have one or two questions after that, or one or two comments from you guys. After that, I'll go to the Chinese part. Then we still continue to discuss. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anybody has a comment or one thing to ask something?
Doc,
Who's
Philip,
that?
Philip.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
How are
Please
you?
welcome. We are fine. We are yeah. We are how many of us here? Seven of us here.
Seven,
Yeah.
and then
And on
inside
the line there are about three or four.
also
Yeah.
seven. Okay,
Yeah.
you can hello.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah. I'm here.
you give me the slot just to highlight our NGOs a bit?
Yes. You want to do it now, Ken?
Yeah.
Philip,
Okay.
on with it now.
Okay, just for the interest of everyone in the what you call it, the seminar organized by Dr. Boon. Thank you again, Doctor, for
Welcome. Welcome.
initiating this seminar. Is a good start for all of us. Okay, and just for the info of everyone, actually, recently we have set up one NGO, and Mr. Boon, Dr. Boon is also one of the members. Okay, these NGOs yet to be registered. We already submitted, but yet to be registered. Seems to be the government a bit slow in registering or approving the said NGO. It's called Pertubuhan Prihatin Anak Sarawak. Okay, the aim of this, actually, the whole idea started when my US friend, the very rich US friend, actually Sarawakian but stay in US. So she proposed to me to set up one NGO in Sarawak because she want to give back to the society. She had done a lot and also received a lot. So she want to give back to the society. So she proposed to me to set up this NGO. So I invited this Dr. Boon to be one of the members. And currently, this NGO is headed by Alistair Menang. Um, and of course, the members, actually, our members are quite. We made it very selective, and at the moment, only had what you call that, joined by circles of friends who are in their own expertise, like the directors, senior directors of Pepper Marketing Board, my friend, and also the oil palm estate manager. I think he's in, Francis Madan. Thank you very much, Mr. Francis from Bentulu, joining us, and also a few what do you call that? Those who are well versed in NGOs activities. So this NGO later on will be heading towards what Dr. Boon mentioned about the rural community, the transformation of the land, and also the education. So my friend from yes, actually, she is very interested in helping us to set up one institute, actually, the training center. So I'm working on that. I have to get the approval from the authority, and she promised to pump in, a capital to the training center, and we are that will be very important for us to develop the skills for our rural student, especially the poor, in order them to be trained, well trained, and also in future getting a good job, high paid job in terms of skilled workers. And just now, Dr. Boon mentioned about this transformation of rural community by what we call that, engaging either private sector or government sector to develop our land. So just now he mentioned about last tract of land in our old place, whereby we have about 300 over acres. Last time, this land was developed by Agriculture Department with rubber, but it seems to be at the moment the rubber is abundant due to the poor prices and also the difficulties of getting into the land. But thank God now the area already connected by road, but the road is only up to the riverside. So they already spoken to JKR, and in principle they already agree to look into the bridge across the Oyak River. So the Oyak River, the distance is about the we call that the wide width of this Srawak River is about 20 meters like that. So in principle, they already agreed to this building the bridge across the river. So this land, if any of the private sector in the seminar, in the Zoom meeting interested, they can approach me through Dr. Boon, and we can talk about it, discuss, and see how it goes to further develop our abundant land actually. And the land actually is very good, indulating, and then it's very fertile actually. Okay, so that is the brief introduction to the NGOs, which we setting up together with Dr. Boon, and hopefully this NGO, once registered, approved by the government, we can move on into several activities and also getting funding and also donation, and also working closely with the private sector to develop land, and also in we could engage the professional in terms of getting the training center come to life in future. Okay, Dr. Boon, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So thank you, Mr. Philip. Is our man behind the society NGO. So I want to say here also thank you again, Mr. Philip. Thank to all of us here that uh, Sati also an NGO, a non-profit association organization, and actually that's now we find that that's the new role of NGO now. The government is doing the job definitely, and then the overseas people, the private sectors are doing their job. But now we also see a part that the NGO like us, NGO like Pertubuhan, that Mr. Philip just recommended to us can do. So we are trying to have more NGO doing this kind of thing to help the rural development, but via maybe some expertise, overseas expertise. All right. So I also saw some unique thing there. Jenny's thing. So Jenny's thing, can you introduce yourself? You are new to me. You are from Bau?
No, I'm from Cebu
Cebu. How did you come to know us, Janice?
because I get the contact from Mr. Go. He sent me the Zoom link because we're doing for the agriculture development.
Oh, Mr. Cole, yeah. Okay. So hope
Yeah,
to get in touch with you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
And,
So yeah,
we
anything?
we
Oh,
also have one NGO. Uh,
yeah.
we have the Persatuan Kebatikan Satu Batu Malaysia.
All
This
right.
year I am the president for this year.
Oh, can you get us in touch? How the NGO we will move together.
Maybe
We
later I need
yeah.
because I don't have total phone number. Maybe later we can keep in contact because mostly we do for the project management for farmer lah. Then
Oh, that's good. That's good.
yeah,
That's good. Okay.
then
Yeah, yeah.
we will do smart farming also palm oil estate
Oh,
plantation. That one agriculture
oh,
is our specialized in agriculture lah.
oh, good, good. All right.
Maybe that's why Mr. Go sent me the Zoom.
Oh, Mr. Go. Okay, Mr. Go, yeah?
Yeah, The Helen
Oh,
husband, Mr. Go.
oh, Mr. Go. Okay, thank you very much, Janice.
Yeah.
So okay, now we anybody around me, sitting around me wants to ask anything, at least there? No? Okay, look at anything. So okay, so this I want to also stress here that this is our initiative. I have foreseen many obstacles, challenges, but nevertheless, Sati and some of us here would not give up easily also. So because we see the big gap there, whereby we know the rural development here, like Mr. Philip had just mentioned about his kampong, is abandoned kampong, abandoned farm, abandoned estate, where millions was already invested and so on. Human beings are displaced, those, so these are serious problems. And suburban areas, you can see many good things happen, but at the same time, we also recognize that there are many failures, all right? So we need to have a research base, research R&D, research and development coming in, so to fill in the place, and we need some expert overseas who have some success story to share with us, and the transfer of technology. That is the whole idea between the current initiative, current endeavor. So we thank you very much. So I'm going to move on to a bit of Mandarin. Okay. Mandarin wise.
So I leave,
Ah,
huh?
you, you,
I
you,
leave,
you
huh?
may leave. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, you may
thank
leave.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any
Thank you.
question or not, Mr. Philip?
No. Probably this Janice thing can connect with us.
Oh,
Mr.
no, they will be.
Mr. Philip, can I ask, betul-betul Yati, is it for community farming in Kuching, that one, Sam?
Okay, for our NGO, we targeting the whole Sarawak actually. That's why we have all.
Green Summit, James,
Sorry,
Green Summit from Mili.
I'm not very sure because ours is a new one, so we are planning
your
to.
one is the new one. Okay.
Yeah, ours is a new one. We yet to be registered. We already submitted about 2 weeks ago, and yet to be registered because we have a very big plan for this NGO actually because my NGO is supported by my friend from US. So
Okay.
she's a Srawak actually. So she is you know she is actually the one that asked me to initiate
Yeah,
this
just now I
NGO.
got
Yeah,
hearing from.
so we will be going into farming for our community and also the training, skill training for our rural population, especially later on.
Yeah.
That will be our main objective. These two main objectives. On top of, let's say, when we have disasters or those who cannot go to school due to constraint in financial resources, that will be also part of it. But that will be, it's not the main objective of it. The main one is, of course, the farming to develop the abundant land and also the training. Yeah.
Can send the people who want to work in, we have talent cultivation. We can train them for planter, for operator, for estate plantation. We can tap for
Yeah.
the.
So
We
probably you can share your numbers with us, handphone numbers with us, and then we can contact. We can connect to each other. Doctor.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, Janice, more active, come to us. We need to know you more, and we can tell you more about what we are doing.
we learn
Okay.
together lah.
All
Doctor,
right.
we learn
Okay.
together.
Okay. Thank you very much. So those of us, but at the end we still are open for discussion also, because some of us here may have some questions to ask towards the end after I present my Chinese one. All right. 各位来宾谢谢你们今天晚上我只好用双语，因为有的人比较习惯用华语而且我们是跟中国这次是要跟中国交流跟中国合作， 所以我一定要用华语讲，所以比较
是
大家更明白。所以这些所录下来的东西呢，能够让更多华族人啊，尤其是在中国那边，可能他们会听得到以后啦。哦，我们当然是它既有一个 website 啊，它随时都可以去看的。所以这个华语的东西，对他们大家都很好了。而且有时候我们也注意到，有的本地的少爷乡亲们呢，他们对华语比较亲切，对英文呢就觉得很疏远哈。哦，所以我们讲到少爷啊，就是讲到今晚上少爷21世纪社区发展模式啦啊，以农业为本，社区啊付钱的观点呢、所以我们讲的是农业啦啊为本啊，然后要改变一个社区。尤其是在烧业，主要是要从农业开始，因为我们有一大片土地，哦土壤又不错，土质又不错，这个天气又好，又没有天灾，所以我们这边是很富有的啊，富有地方了，好、富裕的社区，所以叫我们要有一个富裕的社区啊，现代的社会所以我们希望引进中国的等等的一切技术啊，一切他们的所发展的模式，让我们商业人能够得益啦。哦，所以这个是很重要的一环呢，因为我们注意到以前呢，本地的大学、本地的一切研究单位啊，都做得很好啦。不过还是有一点还有一点需要做的，就是说从那个非政府就是 NGO 啊，非政府团体来尽量把这个社区发展做得更好了，不然的话，我们的就是我们真正的看到很多人在那边受伤啊，尤其是农民们移民农民那些种东西人，而且那个食品也是，烧业现在已经变成了很重要了，在马来西亚里面。也是在全世界里面也能够做一些贡献也就是在这些粮食安全方面粮食我们自己都不够用还进口很多，但是我们能够呃在这一方面能够贡献对马来西亚对世界而且我们对这个环保方面也希望有。所以我们就从农业还有社区的发展来从这个来这个探讨这个讲21世纪的发展我们一起的发展我有四个模式。第一个模式呢，就是讲到在啊就是在城市的模式会比较大家都会明白了。它重要的一环，它的功能不同，它的城市结构不同，目标不同大家有目共睹了，你看得到，大家都看得到就是说我们可以种花、种果子、养鱼等等。但我们的各方面呢，因为在城市里面不只是全城市自己的人，而且有外面移民或者旅客等等，所以变成一个城市是很复杂的，所以需要有事物的保障，而且在食品方面像咖啡粉要麦洛粉这些都是很重要的，所以需要有那边发展第二个模式是郊区改造就 suburban 郊区，我们这边在绍业有几个大城市，不过大城市之外就是郊区了。那个郊区呢，就好像是古晋有西联有是罗门等等他们都很多地方能够发展，而且啊政府也要他们做那个摇篮，就是 basket food basket 树摇篮是吧？所以变成大家那些农民、那些那些投资者在食品上投资者他们能够贡献只是现在我们就通过这个非政府尽量帮忙引进这些科技而且知识从中国那边或者从其他的 个地方啦，有成功的模型的，把它引进来，让我们的农民和商业大体上能够得到更好的丰收成功快乐了哈，小康之家，小康之妻哈。所以我们再看到还有第三个呢，我刚才讲的就是讲了城市郊区，另一个就是在内陆。内陆方面呢，就是很奇怪的我们这边内陆的地方，稍微和大片的土地几千英亩的都有都都有种东西，都有发展，不过不成功，有很多荒废了，变成荒地了，人家说金土银土，现在变得泥土都没有了，有时候，所以我觉得我们这些在中国方面能够帮我们做金山银山咯，从砾山里面呢，呃，让我们知道你虽然是小丘或者河等等方面都能够发挥的，都能发挥。不过因为这基本设施方面或者在研究方面呢，他们在市场方面的困难，他们在品种方面困难，疾病方面困难，所以变成一大堆问题，使到他们不能够继续的生产，继续的成为很成功的功能方面就不能够发挥了。最后一个在沙业有高原那高原也是很特别的地方，很多原住民族少数民族，他们以前也是，现在很多都离开他们的家乡了。不过那边的天气是很寒冷是很适合某种事物等等的，那边也能够发展的。所以我们也有几个例子有几个人呢在找我们这些我们沙地团结剂这边呢研究这样说马里奥那边他们要养什么种什么，他们都会找我们。我们去到那边呢，我们在金马伦在半岛那边就有金马伦就有那些玫瑰花，我们这的玫瑰花是从那边来的，那边就是最适合种玫瑰花的不过我们只是从外地拿了嘛，拿玫瑰花各种你知道高原的植物还有动物其他的各方面的。所以基本上我们看到这四个模型虽然它还有其他的比较相似性或者重建性的社区啦，所以我们还要继续的研究，继续的探索然后探讨啦。所以我们觉得这个是很值得我们研究的东西。我们希望呢，以南大学啦、海南大学等等能够让我们去跟他交流，让他们把他们的科技带回给我们啦。这个是主要问题就让我们大家一起研究，一起探讨，一起商讨琢磨一下啦。让我们知道让我们清楚的了解然后大家能够贡献大家都能够不妨谈一下让我们知道后，然后我们把我们的目标等等放得更准确了然后让我们的行动方面行动计划方面能够尽快的做完，尽快的完成了。我自己本身就是一个社会学的研究者学者，所以我就本身是希望有这个社区发展健康的社会发展，而且是永久，而且是长青的这种社会发展。因为我觉得农业假如成功的话，不一定代表说社区会发展然后可能你现在我们注意到的就最基本最普遍的就是现在大家种很多油种嘛，一下油种下去人就不见了，就不能够住了不能够住那边了而且那个其他植物动物也是慢慢的走掉了，或者消失了，所以这个是很大的问题的。我们要有一个完整的社区发展计划，让我们知道他们不只是说他们不只是说在种一种某种东西，而且要种多样化的东西，而且对商业、对他民族、对他们社区、对跟马来西亚都有用的，尤其是好像说因为那些叫做事物事物不单单是说好像非事物事物是吃的东西啦好像菜 好像羊啊，好像猪啊，和其他东西，这些都是我们要试的。假如我们总是靠硬啊，最后啊，我们就进口的话，最后我们就会变成了一个很可悲的情形了。我们就不会成功了。我觉得我们所做的东西变成只是马马虎虎啊，然后靠其他的领域方面。不过我们基本上是说，我们少业有地方能够农业能够生产食品，大家能够社区方面能够富有，小康之妻大家都能够成功，大家能够快乐的下去了。这个就是我们的起点了。所以我讲到这边，我觉得我就讲多一个模型啊就好了哈。这个模型是在好像说在西联那边他们有地方有养鸡，不过他们很多问题咯。有的养猪也是很多问题咯。有的他们种东西也是很多问题咯。现在他们又做新的东西，我好像说他们做花香兰花香兰他们也开始种了。他们跟别人学习，然后这些都是很多东西很重要的东西。不过呢，他们在研究方面，在发展方面可能会有问题出现问题了。因为你知道植物或者动物都会有病好像有品种不好还是说土质不好还是各方面的问题或者现在说市场方面不好，或者人销路不好，或者政府经济方面不好，肥料起价啦，等等东西或者现在人家改变口味了改变口味了不吃这个了，吃那个了啊。好像我们的胡椒，中国就不吃我们的胡椒，所以变成大问题。呃，所以呢，这边我们是传统上种很多胡椒的，所以我们希望中国能帮忙我们，跟我们一起研究，让农民、让食品工厂业对这个食物安全的大大方向跑了。让大家都能够，然后“一带一路”之前那大前提之下，我们的商业能够受惠了能够跑以前。好像说咖啡咖啡我们知道，假如我没有讲错的话，大概28%是靠本地的，很多都是从印尼来的。少业也是能够种咖啡的。有一天，现在我们印尼首都以及那边的，可能那边的他们自己的消费力都更大了，比我们这边更大。那时候我们就产生一个没有咖啡好喝或者其他的那个食品或者可能缺乏了这种。所以这些都是值得研究。我本身注重的就是说研究在人文学里面我们也研究，然后中国大学他们已经打了基础了，他们继续的，好像岭南大学，我有一张岭南大学的，他讲他刚刚开一个叫做里面在开一个叫做食品科学技术学院，交工党支部于潮安县第二层展开了联合研究啦，联合研究他们去到乡下跟老师们、跟同学们一起写做讲座会，研究怎样出产更好的饰品等等。所以这个都是很好的，我们商业应该模仿这种好的模型了。所以中国既然他们也这样做，我们可以从各方面的学习了这个农业大学食品科学技术学院，他们也是很多，有的是肉类的食品，当然了，我们还有很多其他植物方面。所以这个就是我们所要讲的重点我们的重点，所以我们是希望做呃呃多几天多几个礼拜，或者呃在不久不久的话后，我们能够去中国一下，然后我要邀请他们来这边来更深的研究。当然，我们这边也要进行很多我们负责的基础的工作了。好，就此了。 希望大家有什么问题的话，大家就交流了吧哈。不要客气了，大家交流哈。好，公开的交流了，大家有什么要吗？我发表，假如你没有什么问题，我可以发表了哈。嗯，
博士，我可以问一下吗？
是人您哈，
啊，对对，
请可以哦，
我是就是中国的话，其实农业的话，其实有几个，
啊哈
我听你的分享啊，就是
对，
其实农业它会面对最大的挑战就是，怎么讲？第一，因为我们这边是 peat soil，所以我们沼泽地，这是最主要的问题啊，整个草原。我分享一点农业啦，然后另外一点是就是好像我们公司这几年来我们做什么嘞？就是很多时候是我们这里我们地很大，可是我们人口不多，所以如果有机会跟中国合作的话，其实我越委去中国，就是很希望就是我们能不能我们 provide 地让中国人来种了他运回去，你懂吗？就是如果是我们种了，我们种出来的 quality 有可能不是他们要的。因为农民啊，他可以种，可是种了谁要？这个是一个非常大的问题，大家都懂。像我们现在啦，其实我们会提倡做农旅 agro-tourism，好像刚才不是讲，我们有很多地方，我们有很多特色。其实种菜的话，因为政府一直讲要做 CPPC，可是我们到今天为止啦，Collect Process Packaging Center。除了
嗯
除了油种以外啦，我们真的 skill
嗯
farming 真的不懂要去哪里。可是我们可以做精致农业。什么叫精致农业嘞？就是我们可以做一些因为其实我们沙拉越有3桶金啊，一个是 oil and gas，一个是中旅，还有一个就是旅游。其实旅游可以慢慢结合来做啦，跟农业一起。这一方面是我们在努力啦。然后如果是 rural area，如果我们还是靠人力去做 agriculture 啊，真的是太累了。然后 smart farming 在我们这里，我会觉得比较难实行，是因为我们的 farmer 不是像新加坡，它是 high level education 的，所以如果我们讲 smart farming，除非你整个 set up 做好，我们的农民他像 operator 来执行啊，这样子就有可能。就是像工
嗯
厂的 operator 啊，就是你跟他讲现在种子要怎么下，就是我们把 farmer 变成 operator，这样我们还能够栽培。可是如果我们真的从零到在教 farmer theory，就是 theory practical 到什么啊？我觉得那个时间太长了，经验啊，这个我
好，
个这个
好好来，
啊，
呃，还有大家对你你暂停一下哈，让大家反应一下哈，来，等下你再见你没有关系，好，谢谢你有什么反应吗？杨先生，有什么反应？没有，OK，没有什么反应。好，谢谢大家没有反应，就是说大家很不明白，或者是呃还是说他有更高明的，这样希望今晚我们谢谢了哈。所以我不会对你比较明白一点啦，我知道你说你在中国人来的话呢，变成了这边的他们自己的社区人民可能又不大搞没有 transfer，没有科技转转给我们呐、变成他们社会他拿到，虽然他们要买变成好像他们租我们的地跟我们做就是这样一样。变成没有把我们自己的社区农民等等所以这个可能要从法律方面可能转一点给我们转一点给我们知道转一点的技术我们，然后给他们现在1、2年不可以包头包尾了包头包尾中国拿回去又在那边吃 然后你这变成用我们的地，我相信本地人不可能会，因为这些很多是稀疏地嘛，所以稀疏地啊，他们就像中油一样啊，这个 f e 卡买气啊，他们变成他们，假如是生产赚的少的话啊，他们不高兴的。我遇到很多个啊，一年拿500-600啊，有时候开始之后啊，没有东西，没有回酬啊，他们不高兴哦，他们现在不要跟他们签合约了哇，过了20年就新的合约嘛，他不签的。所以这个第一个我明白了，所以对中国来，他能够用各种的方面哦，这里可以种，还可以带回去，当然是最好他的种他要的啦。我们变成市场已经180肯定了吗？哦我觉得是对了，这个是的，对了。
我是因为如果我们做了给 local market 啊，它真的是比较难。你看大家，我不懂大家懂不懂？如果一个 container 去中国啦，我们要多少的量？我可以打一个 example，一个 container 20吨啊，如果我们的 farmer 如果没有技术种出来20吨的话，还要看它 A 果、B 果、C 果，这样 B、C 果要去哪里？如果 A 果要出口，所以如果我们的 farmer 很厉害，种一半一半啊。就是 A 果一半，B 果一半，这样我们要种40吨，40吨我们才有一粒 container 可以出去。
对对，这个谢谢你，有没有反应啊？
所以如果我们没有
有没有反应？
技术啦，如果我们没有技术，我们根本
OK，原理上这个东西啊，是说你假如运出去的话，说话啊，我们想到这边，我们这烧业能自己都不够用，好像咖啡啊，我刚才讲的28仙咖啡啊，是从印尼来的啊，88仙是印尼来的，所以28线我们还可以种很多，对不对？那我还是整个国家我们到，所以除了能够有中国市场，那是最好啦。不过呢，在我们本地市场也是很大的啊，好像鸡蛋啊、哦，对不对？鸡蛋或者都是有市场嘛。当然中国来，他们也是更好咯，变成双方面咯。假如我们有的更大的生产，当然是最好的哦。他能说哦，不过我相信啊，这边我们不能够跟中国比较啦，然后我们还是算作很小了哈，虽然有一大片地了，但是像你刚才讲的 pig soil 一样啊，还是有问题啦。我注意到还是说因为中国真的是大了哈，我们不像我们这边还是不大不小，够我们自己，所以我们是把我们自己的问题解决好啊。然后呢，就能够出厂，外面是最好的咯。哦，好像现在我们有出猪，好像猪卖去新加坡了吗？不过我们现在中国刚才我讲的食品工厂做食品工厂橡胶工厂等等这些工厂，中国能够引进来，为什么我们这边先橡胶？刚才讲那 Mr. Philip 讲的那个橡胶没有人要采，几十年了吧？没有人采，因为工钱矮嘛而且用泄火功能。不过其他国家好像中国好像搞得很轰轰烈烈哦。海南岛我听过云南，他们都是很搞得轰轰烈烈哦。为什么烧业半死半命这样子了？啊就是这个问题，就是我希望中国能够帮我们一点呢，就是这样子啊。OK，
这样有可能我刚才
好了啊。
误解了都不是的意思。如果要做本地市场的话，叫我们刀税要做的强一点。我们就是没有加工厂。
我知道，我明白，这个是说我们希望我们农业大学各方面的，好像乡区的都能够做得更好啦。现在我们是非政府你和我这样我们好像心有余而力不足有时候不过我们还是会，所以我觉得这个不足的地方中国能够橄榄枝叶啊生掉给我们所以我就从这边方面跑了。很多很多像种植方面像香花，我知道他们从台湾、从中国那边他们引进很多自己私自的引进很多像古赖、像槟城，它和本地大学不过有外面的人合作所以印度尼西亚也是靠中国等等，所以就是这方面因为我们不是有关方面嘛，我们只是非政府所以这样子我们已经9点了，就此结束了哈，谢谢你了，我们继续找我们了哈， 9点了哈，现在就是要开始结束了。没有，你们还有什么问题吗？3、2、1哦，没有。今天晚上谢谢你们大家，这个是有记录的，谢谢你们啊，谢谢你们。今天晚上了已经，谢谢你们，晚安晚安，严丽晚安啊，你晚安，大家晚安啊，谢谢。